All right, we are live with Tom Sandoval, huge Stryx fan, as we often do.
Yes.
But we're here to talk about routines, grooming, and really what got you interested in this space. Because I think you're known for wearing cosmetics and looking very handsome.
Well,
but
likewise.
I think every guy has like the moment when they became conscious of their style and their appearance. And I'm curious, like, what was that moment for you?
I mean, I would say definitely went hand in hand with modeling. When I started modeling, it was right at the beginning of the digital era. So the digital pictures, you know, in its infancy was very, they were very cold. The coloring was not, it didn't have that like beautiful like photo quality that it does now. You know, we're talking like early 2000s, you know, like 2001, 2002. And, you know, you would do photo shoots that were mainly like for your book. Like, you know, you do like a fashion spread or a spread or something in like, you know, Cosmo or, you know, Genlux or any of these magazines. And, you know, they were always trying to get as much as they could, you know, and they always had a tight budget. But you did it for your pictures because you would, you know, put the tears in your book. And there was times where like they would spend, it's the one industry where they definitely focus more on the girls, I feel like, than the guys. I know that's not normally common, but in this industry they do. And so as a guy, I was always secondary, or I was like a prop, like a dude prop for like the girl who would be front and center. And there was times where
she's like,
yeah, exactly.
One, and you're just there to hold her up.
Yeah, I'm fanning her or like standing behind her or whatever. And there were times where, you know, whether we were on location or whatnot, like I'd be shiny, or I felt like I was pale, didn't have any color. You know, I didn't want to go tanning all the time because I'm half Irish, half Hispanic, and you know, just needed to have color, needed to have like right now I'm a little shiny. I just worked out not too long ago. So I had a makeup artist go with me to Sephora and put together like a powder, a little bit of like a little bit of color, like a bronzer, a concealer, just things like that, blotting papers. Because I mean, yes, I had similar situation that DeVere had, where, you know, all these pictures he had on his wedding, you know, he had a blemish, and I would have photo shoots where I could like clearly see a blemish, and I'm like, you know, these are fashion photo shoots. These aren't like, you're not making money on these, you know, they're for your book, they're for you, so you can book the money jobs, right? So, you know, I couldn't use these pictures because I didn't look good in them, you know? So I was like, screw it, I'm not leaving this up to chance anymore. So I just started like learning how to do my own makeup, and then just in general, like going to events, whether it's, you know, even with like Vanderpump Rules, like also like once I got into, you know, shooting reality show, it's like I'm setting up the bar, I'm getting, you know, ice and getting stuff together before I jump behind the bar, and I'm gonna be on camera, and it's like I'm like shiny and sweaty looking. And I was like, you know, this is gonna be on national television. Like I need to, you know, at least try to look halfway decent, not look like I'm stressed out, because that's the one thing, like when you're shiny as a guy, it sort of translates that you're like nervous or uncomfortable, maybe stressed out or whatever.
Or you didn't shower.
Yeah, or you didn't shower, you know. So yeah, that's kind of where it came from. And, you know, I just, to me, I always thought like, you know, why, you know, I mean, my brother too, growing up, my brother, you know, he struggled with acne a little bit. We all did, obviously, going through puberty, but he would use that like tinted Clearasil stuff, and it would like cake up on his zits and stuff. And I'm like, it just looks bad, you know?
What was the moment though that you thought, like, I'm going to go into modeling? And like, what was that thought for you?
Well, initially, so I grew up in St. Louis, and I got with an agency there, Centro Talent Plus. and I always wanted to be an actor. But you know, there's not a lot of acting in St. Louis. There's definitely some modeling, you know. So they started submitting my headshot for print jobs. And I remember I was 15 when I started, and I booked like my first modeling job for like Jim's Formal Wear, Castelli's. And it was like, I paid like $2,500 or something. Like it might as well have been $1 million when I was 15, you know? And I was like, all right, cool. I make $10 a week cutting the lawn, or, you know, if a modeling job, make $2,500. So yeah, that kind of sort of got me into it. Then I got an agency in Chicago, which was an easy move. So once I turned 18, I moved to Chicago. Also had an acting agency there. Started going to acting classes. Then I got one in Miami, and I started doing well in Miami, and then bounced back and forth from New York and Miami, because they pre-shoot all the spring break and summer stuff in South Beach. So like, you know, all the models fly south for the winter, and the clients come there, you know, and shoot stuff on the beach. So yeah, I just got into that for a while, and then obviously got back into acting when I moved out to LA. But you know, it's always just it was fun. You know what I mean? It was cool. It was a little grinding. You know, you're going to castings every day, and you know, getting just judged on your looks. It can be a little you know, defeating at times, but
it's like a lot of rejection.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
So then when you were going into Sephora now, I mean, you were the only guy in Sephora? What was that like in the early 2000s?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I didn't see a lot of guys in there. And that's one thing, too, that really drew me to this company, is that, you know, I like that it's kind of, that Stryx is designed for men to make it easier, because when you go into a place like Sephora or wherever makeup department, there is just smack, all of it. There's just so much makeup. It can be very overwhelming, you know, and it generally is catered to a female audience. You know what I mean? It's a female clientele. So, you know, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get this bronzer, and then you get this bronzer, and it's got like shimmery, you know, sparkles in it and stuff, and it's just it can be difficult too, you know. Like it's also like you gotta like ask somebody for help, and then you know they like gonna apply it on you, and you know, you can be left feeling self-conscious, you know. And
guys don't like to ask for directions, let alone help with their makeup.
Right, exactly.
All right. So then, I mean, you've now kind of built a routine around making sure your skin looks good all the time. And so, like, what has the power of a routine really done for you as you've kind of built out these products?
I mean, really, it's like everything, you know, everybody's skin's different. Everybody, you know, needs different things. Obviously, I love this concealer tool. I mean, I'll show you, like, so if I'm just doing concealer itself, like with Stryx, I use the lighter, even though I'm darker than the lighter, because I combine it with a dark powder. So if I'm just using concealer, then I'll use the medium. But if I'm using both the powder and the concealer, I'll use the light to brighten up the eyes. And I'll show you how I do this. I basically just go in. I mean, you can use your hand. I use a brush just because I'm faster with it, but I just go in and kind of just draw on right here. I get a little on the eyelid right here. Do a little stripe on the nose, kind of like here, and then so you can see where it's at. And then I go grab a brush, or you can use your finger. And I just kind of blend it in, so, and that kind of brightens up the under eye. This hides any kind of like sometimes you can see like little tiny like veins under my eyes or whatever, or on my eyelid. So kind of do this, and then basically I'll take, this is like a bronze powder. So this takes care of the shine and gives me a little color. I did do a sunless tanner today, so That's why I do have color right now.
Us Irish guys need more color.
Yes. And that sunless tanner will add a little tackiness to your skin as well. So yeah, I just go in and kind of hit the forehead. And so you can kind of see, like, I got this light right here. You can kind of see the difference, in the two sides. It just evens it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, is like, that's another thing, is that a lot of guys look at like cosmetics as like, they consider it like they're putting on fake lashes, or they're changing their appearance, or they're not being authentic. But really all this does is just, you know, I actually ran into a guy. He deals with like some eczema on his nose that's red. And like last weekend, I was like, hey, I want to show you something. and I put it on his nose, and then I just tapped him with a little bit of like powder, and immediately, because especially with something that's on your nose, it immediately it takes away, distracts from the eyes. You want people to look at your eyes, you know, like that's how you want to connect. And this guy's nose was just red, and I could tell. I wasn't sunburned, I could tell. So I went in and did that, and it's like immediately it made a difference. Guy still looks exactly how he looks, how he's supposed to look, but instead you're focusing on his eyes. You know what I mean? And not being distracted by the redness on his nose.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it was always like, if I would go to a meeting, I didn't want people focusing on my zit here. I wanted them to hear what I was saying. And it's
exactly.
like, that was always a big thing for me. And like Devere's story of his wedding, like I went back, I photoshopped my own pictures of my wedding because I had a big like breakout here. And I can remember going to bed the night of the wedding, and I was like, I hope I don't wake up with a breakout. And I did, because it's stressful. It's a wedding. It's like, that's what's going to happen. And so, yeah, it's like every guy has that, whether it's like a first date or a meeting or a wedding or something. I know you said you've been putting it in some of the groomsmen's.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Always. And like, you know, because they're shaving, they get razor burn, especially on their neck. Yeah, it's all like the girls spend hours on their makeup. You know, they're getting their makeup done by somebody, and the guy is just like nothing. He's worried about his bow tie, you know?
Yeah.
And I just think it's just important. It's like those pictures are going to be around forever, you know? And if they're shiny too, it's like you have a reflection off the forehead. It can be a lot harder to edit, you know, because it's your forehead becomes a big bounce of light. So you have like a loss of information in the photo. So I mean, yeah, I think it's important. And, you know, I had a guy who has chronic dark circles under his eyes. And I mean, it has made such a huge difference in his life. But it was so funny. We were at Coachella. I met him, like he was sharing, we were all staying at a house. He was one of the guys, like I was just meeting him, and I was like, hey, I got something for you. And I did it for him. And after that, and we became really good friends, but the way he came up and asked me for it, he was like, hey man, yo, you got any like he's buying drugs, like he's trying to buy drugs off me or something.
Right. Well, that was actually one of the questions we had come in when we had said we were going to be chatting with you is, you know, what can guys do about those dark under eye circles? And we hear that that's one of the most frequent uses for our concealer, is a way to really solve, you know, I get them too. Like you can kind of see when I'm outside of this direct light, it's like, yeah, you get them under there, and now there's easy solutions for it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing about Stryx, is it just simplifies it for you. You know, you don't have to go in and weed through all the stuff. You got this tool, you can put it in your pocket. It looks like kind of looks like a vape pen or something. I don't know. Just looks like a pen, and there we go. And you just have it in your pocket, and you know, touch yourself up. If I mean, usually when I put this on, it's like you only really need to put it on in the beginning of your night, and you're good.
Yeah, it stays on. Actually, we can sneak preview our next product number 4.
Yeah.
Under eye serum that helps to reduce the bags and the fine lines under your eyes. So it's going to be a really good 1-2 punch. You know, that'll help reduce the bags, and then the concealer really covers the dark circles. And so that'll be coming very soon.
Does that have caffeine in it?
No caffeine. It's algae and plankton based.
Okay.
So all natural based. But yeah, we tried some caffeine stuff, but this one actually has an aluminum roller ball, so it cools while
Nice.
it falls.
That's great. That's
Very
great.
excited for
You
that
can
one.
probably keep that in your fridge too if you want, right?
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, here we got a question from Mark. I can put it up on the screen.
Hey, Tom, I appreciate you sharing techniques. Any advantage using the brush versus the pad that comes with the powder, especially for shine? I personally, I like a brush because a pad a pad applicates much heavier. And I don't like with guys, it's always a struggle. It's like you want to do something, but you don't want to look like you're wearing makeup. And with a pad, it goes on much heavier. A brush, you just kind of grab, you can hit like this, put on a little bit at a time. You need more, you grab a little more. But with the pad, it's like an immediate, a lot. And you know, I prefer the brush. It blends better. You can add a little bit on. You're not like grabbing so much of it. It's just my personal preference.
We had another question come in, and it was more around like the facial hair and how the cosmetic would interact with the facial hair. Like, is there any special considerations you have for that?
I try to like, if I'm, I do just kind of like when I'm doing like, I use the, wait, oh, it's upstairs. That's all right. I use a sunless tanner and I use a mitt. Because you really don't want to be, I use a foam and I use a mitt, and I do put it on my face. But I think that, wait, what was it again? Oh, with the facial hair, I go over my facial hair. It's fine. Especially if you have dark facial hair, it's not really an issue. If you have light facial hair, you might want to be, a little bit more mindful, because it could go onto your facial hair. And if you get it on your facial hair, just grab like a paper towel, or if you're in the bathroom, toilet paper, just wet a little bit and just kind of wipe it off, and you're good to go.
Got it. All right. And then the other one was, at the end of the day, what's your routine for like cleansing, washing, removal of it?
So I have like, obviously I have a regular trash can I recycle in my bathroom, and I have like hand towels that you pull like when you're any like public restroom. I have a hand towel dispenser, and I use water and I use this cleansing gel, which helps remove. But I like to do either a washcloth or like a paper towel. I mean, you don't want to be using your hand towel that you use to dry your hands all the time. So I use like a hand towel, and then I throw that in the like recycle thing. So I'm not just like, but one of them usually works with this, and gets it off and good to go. It's pretty simple. This stuff works great, the gel.
What about I think the other one was around like working out. Like, does it stay on during the workout, or do you try and like wash off any product before a workout?
It just depends. I mean, it's not crazy. I mean, you're not using a ton of it. I mean, if I'm wearing like sunless tanner, then that stuff. Oh, here's my sunless tanner. I use Loving Tan right now. I use the 2 Hour Express. I put it on with a mitt, as so. I follow, like, you got to be careful with the hands. You just want to follow the little hairs on your hand and kind of do it lightly. But yeah, that will come off. This will. The Stryx and stuff doesn't really come off. I mean, I always use darker sweat towels anyways when I'm working out, and usually like I will like work out in the morning. Then if I'm doing something, I apply whatever. But I usually wash my face before I work out, after, and then at night. So
you're a 3 cleanse kind of guy, 3 daily cleanse.
Yeah, it just depends. Sometimes I'll just use a little water. I don't go like crazy with the soaps, because that can it can dry out your skin. But if I'm going to bed, I'll use this for sure.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I was formulated to keep you healing at night and keep your skin very healthy. Now,
creams, I do I like your serum for the daytime, and then I'll do a heavier, more moisturizing cream for at night after I've washed my face.
Yeah, nice heavy night cream. It's underrated. That's like my last frontier that I haven't found one that I like really like for the nighttime is because I have a great like daytime SPF, that's all taken care of, but I want something like nighttime repair, that type of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can go grab the one that I use. It works great.
What's the name?
I forget. But I have different kinds. I have more of a light serum, and then during the day, and then because obviously if you put on a heavy lotion on your face, and a heavy eye serum, it will add to the shininess. More of a serum versus a lotion. Unless you have really dry skin. I have more oilier skin.
Yeah, most guys do. That's one of the reasons we need slightly different cosmetics. Is that oil, big pores and oil.
Yes.
So now this is just kind of following as we were talking about before. So like you started to use cosmetics. Like how did that change? Did it change the game for you? I mean, was that one of the real big turning points?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be out with friends and I'd be like, shit, man, I gotta hook you up. Like I gotta show you. No, I don't need it. And I'm like, dude, but I can tell you're uncomfortable. Really, it's just been a confidence boost for me, and anytime, especially now when you're going out, people are taking pictures and putting them on social media. It's just, it just takes away that like uncomfortable, like, hey, you're going to edit that photo, right? Because most people when they're taking photos, they're just editing themselves, and then, yeah, you're kind of up to their mercy. It's just really, I mean, anytime you see somebody famous, whether it's Clint Eastwood or whoever, any dude you see who's on red carpet at events, like they're all wearing makeup. Anybody you see behind the news desk, people interviewing, they're all touched up, and they do that. It's not like they're, it's not like they're changing their look. They just want you to. It's the whole key is to focus on the person and their features, their eyes, their mouth, like not to be focused on imperfections, because we do that subconsciously, even if we're, when we're talking to somebody, if we see something, because we're always self-conscious, and it just, I mean, to me, it's a confidence thing. I feel confident,
They say that's why we're also fatigued.
I know that if somebody wants to take a picture or whatever, or there's a paparazzi moment, like I'm ready. I feel fine. I'm not going to be freaking out,
Yeah, edit your pictures before they're taken.
Exactly.
That's why they say we're so fatigued by all these Zoom calls, is we're always like, you can see yourself in the camera.
Yeah.
That's why we're always so tired out by them.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, this has been very cool to share what you're working on, and I think most people know you from Vanderpump Rules. I know you got some things in the works, and we're very excited to be working with you on new product too. It's like you've been very vocal as we've been developing new things, and having your hand in these things is only going to make it better with all of your experience.
Oh yeah, no, thank you, man. I'm super stoked to be a part of this. Like I really, to me, obviously people get into certain things for whatever reasons, but my motivation is for guys to feel comfortable, like, hey, it's okay to take care of yourself, just like it's okay for you to wear deodorant, to trim your facial hair, to get haircuts, wear cologne. Like it's okay to take care of yourself and use a little concealer sometimes. Like it doesn't make you any less of a man. If anything, you're ahead of the curve, Yeah,
you got to stand out. Just a little bit of effort. You stand out.
Just a little bit,
That's great.
Yeah, I'm super stoked to be a part of this and work on new products with you guys, because, obviously the goal is for us to be, a one-stop shop, get everything you need, totally simplified, have a kit. This is what you need. This is all you need. You're good to go.
Yeah. We're going to make the Tom Sandoval handsome kit.
For
groomsmen and for grooms.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's great. Well, thanks for joining us, Tom. We'll have more stuff working with you, and yeah, as soon as new products become available, you'll have them. We'll share them, and so stick around here, and we'll do. I know we talked about doing something else around your routine, so we'll work on that as well.
For sure, man. I'm super stoked.
All right, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Cheers, John.
Cheers.